Hi, we're here today with Paul Owen. He's our CTO at Fresh Networks. He's going to talk a little bit about Drupal and why we use it at Fresh Networks, and also his recent trip to Copenhagen to the DrupalCon conference. So Paul, it'd be good to get a bit of background to Drupal and why we use it here at Fresh Networks.
Sure, no problem. So Drupal is a fantastic social publishing framework content management system that we use pretty much exclusively for our community and campaign projects. And so last week I had the opportunity to go to Copenhagen and DrupalCon, which is the biggest annual get-together of European Drupalistas. It was a great experience. Met a lot of great people, went to some fantastic sessions, and yeah, it'd be good to sort of talk about it more.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to get to know kind of where Drupal is going to be in, say, 10 years' time, and kind of the latest developments that have come out from the conference.
Okay, so Dries gave his keynote at the conference on exactly that theme. So extrapolating Drupal's spectacular growth to date, sort of 10 years into the future, and what are the things that we need to be sort of thinking about now to enable that and make that possible. So to date, one of the criticisms that's been leveled at Drupal has been around its administration and content publishing interface. So one of the big things for Drupal 7 and a trend that I can see continuing sort of Drupal 8 and Drupal 9, Drupal 10 is continuously improving the user experience for content publishers and site administrators, indeed site developers. And Drupal 7 is already a great step in that direction. The other thing about lowering the barrier to entry is giving people sort of more of a starting point. So Drupal out of the box is in many ways a framework for you to then add things onto in terms of modules and particular capabilities, and then build your site. And a notable trend that is emerging is around Drupal distributions. So for example, Appian provide Drupal Commons. There's a platform called Open Atrium, which is for more kind of intranet style projects. Open Publish, which is great for news sites. These distributions are available, and they provide sort of out of the box capabilities in particular site sectors.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that we are also going to be sort of using a lot of those sort of capabilities on our forthcoming projects.
Cool.
One of the other elements is, as Drupal has gained so much more popularity and is being increasingly picked up by massive organisations. So I mean, the White House is always cited as an example, but the New York Stock Exchange, for example, is increasingly using Drupal for sites as well. That means that you need the community itself needs to grow as well in terms of experienced developers, and the market being able to recognise the capabilities of these developers. So things like sort of certifications we talked about, and at a platform level, what are the sort of enterprise features and functionality that needs to be built in to enable these large organisations to build extremely high traffic sites. So again, Drupal 7 provides sort of capabilities in some of that space around abstracting out, for example, the database layer and integrating with more of the systems that we use for high traffic, high scalability sites.
So is there any sites that are already up and running in Drupal 7 that are worth having a look at?
Right, so Drupal 7 is still at an alpha stage, so but you can go and play with Drupal 7. For example, Appian provide a Drupal Gardens platform which enables you to just sign up and try Drupal 7 out, and they've added some really nice sort of features around being able to integrate media and do some of the sort of theming online. And as an entry point, that's a great step, and hopefully we'll sort of again address some of those challenges around WordPress is often cited as a competitor or an example. WordPress is great, but particularly in that sort of whole blogging area, and I think sort of both platforms are sort of increasingly learning and picking up things from each other, and At the moment, I would say Drupal is the much more flexible platform, but it's something that we need to kind of track closely and keep an eye on.
Cool. Well, thanks for your time anyway, Paul. And if you're interested in hearing anything else about Drupal or hearing from Paul and his team, there's going to be a new tech blog from the Fresh Networks development team that'll be up and running shortly, and we'll keep you up to date with that.
Thanks very much.
Cool. Yes.